Where is my friend and brother? As the guys are red, where are you this day? The man is indisposed. It's good starting the bumper show with Azareth. The mail comes tomorrow, Thursday. If all goes well, when His Excellency Ambassador Dr. George Opamanek Bagugbese Koze is not on the road again, Azareth comes at 4 o'clock to bring you the good news on the bumper show. And I'm here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with my edition of the bumper show. Wheresoever you are, how are you listening? As a bienvenue. That's how I will say in French, welcome. In Kiswahili, we say karibu sana. In Kiswahili from Kenya, Nairobi, and all of the East African countries, it's a karibu sana. And that's a speak a good deal of Kiswahili since 2008. In Tree they say Akwaba. Akwaba. That's how we say in Tree. Welcome to the Bumper Show. My name is Chala Emmanuel Niki Kalufagala Kiang Malakbu. Nyale want to go so mangnang po kwila. Ejabapunu. Halisa. Davatema Greyfield. I'm here till 6 o'clock. Bringing to you today an auxiliary of the CDC. They come at 4 o'clock. They already in the building. On the flip side of 5 o'clock, I will announce our guest. I will announce our guest again. He promised to have been here yesterday. He didn't come. He comes from the opposition side and makes criticism that the ruling party, the the ELBC family, is not welcoming opposition to this radio with extended invitations. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't come. That's why I have debunked and termed it as a lie from the belly of the devil. When the opposition folks say ELBC is not putting in the time, that's a blatant lie. They want to feed the international community with lies and falsehood. But the management team here does not give them time, which is not true. I'm expecting the man called CBC Bashir of the Unity Party, who comes from the District 3. He was due to be here yesterday, and I love how he told me that he can't come because he had an appointment to be with the former Vice President Joseph Nyumambuakai. And again, we are expecting today at 5 o'clock. If he doesn't come, then I will do a monologue. You know, I love doing monologue. Well, I catalog the president's achievements, what he's done. This is Liberia's premier radio. Radio DMP Law in Lofa County, in Foya District. Radio Makona in Foya District relay the program. Radio Plibo in Maryland County relays it. Radio Lawayi in Grand Assay in Nima County, owned and operated by Representative Glowan Glikia, also relays this program. In Grand Crew, the voice of Grand Crew relays it. 7 other radio stations across Liberia, owned and operated by ELBC, also relay the program. That makes us to be the biggest in Liberia. That is unarguable. I'm the nation's Heavenly J. My name is Jala Greyfield. And my people from Bonkani call me Kalufagala. Kalufagala means snake can laugh. Snake can laugh. Have you ever seen a snake laugh before? Every time it laughs, then it wants to bite. Or you call me mysteriously, I'm called Ginangakbo. Ginangakbo means mosquito poo. Have you seen a mosquito poo before? No, you have not seen it before. Anyone who sees it, that person is working mysteriously. And that's the other side you don't understand. I couldn't see my guy who prayed for me. When he has come, I wanted to pray in Pele just for 1 minute. But the man who prays in Dane is a smallest tribe in Liberia. If I'm not mistaken, they are less than 3,000 people. He represents, but that's what we do here every day. The guys from Assyria's department, the rural broadcasting department, come and pray for this program every day. Pray in Pele, Maningo, Mano, every day. So they schedule themselves. Today, he will pray for our country, pray for the president, pray for the vice president, Her Excellency Neswakoko Mayo Joa Howard Taylor, the Speaker Honorable Dr. Buffett Chambers, the President Albert Chie, the Chief Justice, and you, all Liberians appointed by the president, and those elected, every Liberian where they are. The man who prays in Dane will pray today. He will call his name and proceed.
Abenigo said Daniel. Mekaraku, Kiplo, Moniya, was it Big Bar, was it Glamba, Mobile Yakpo, or Duko, J. And Jack Banner, or Simike La Brobana, Conji Bank, one Azimake, I am president, Ma Conji Bank, Azimake, I am president, John Wea, Ki Omoni, Big Blame, Namely Clee, Ma Conji Mema Blow, Conji Bank, Ki Blow, Dublin Tubi, Maragri, Ki Forward Deja, I am Bokuson, make a coming, and Jack Banner, the Pro, Music, Paper, Music Glamba. Moni zone omoni ke zone ke jibo se zone or the boy mo ja zone ke gri ke ayan blo ben obenu for di o ma blo meji ani je gbanu ke blo o se ke jo wa na tira ke omoni meble ke ani je gbanu ma ayan blo me ke bo ma pe gi ben ma gi ben ke ayan ma na kamura o se ke blo o yan guzo blo mo se se ni o yan ka kunji ma kunji ben o se ke bo fo chima meble clean ma gi ben wo e ba blo na ben wo ben ni kri okay for di o ma blo meji ani je gbanu Jesus ni mi go ani je gbanu.
Amen. Jesus, amen. Let's go to PCK. He crowns it all on the bumper show. He sings for us in the vernacular in Pele, but he also prays for the country. Ask God to pray, God to help our people. He's asking God to protect our leaders. It is God protect our leaders. PCK. He's thanking God that all his people are in Banga and asking God to protect the leaders of Bon County. Honorable Prince Kamumoy, Honorable Edward Kafia, the Superintendent Elsa Walker, Maran Ghana or Nangalamekami, Johnny Pay Ghana. And I'm asking God, I say my nephew is there. He's also going for senatorial race. He's not a senatorial race too. Please protect him for me. I'll read some of your comments and I come to my guests. They are here. I will introduce them properly. We go to a discussion. They are all supporting President George Weah's re-election.
I love my people.
Father, save us from this pandemic, especially our leaders. My young brother and friend is Zulu Whiskey. Samuka Keita tells me the entire Zero is locked down to ELBC radio. Our focus is live in Red Room. Single chroma, single sheriff, a single chroma rather. It tells me that Top FM 105.5 is also relaying this program, and I'm the progenitor of that radio. The man called me. Let me go to the line and talk to. I want to read some of the comments coming initially. Then I go to my guys. The time the locusts have eaten, I will add it to them if all possible goes. Let me say good afternoon to my big brother Paul Saleh. How are you there? But the Palma, right? Please share our video. Just go to LNTV Live, Liberia Live. You'll get the video anywhere you are in Liberia or outside Liberia. Just share. As you share it, everybody listens, everybody watches it. Let me recognize some of the guys who have joined us. Let me say welcome to the show, Mr. Arvin. Arvin is from the CDC. He watches me right now. Papi Collier is watching me from somewhere in and Mark and Ben has joined me. I need to wear my glasses, even though it is a cripple one right now because one of the handles are broken. It's broken rather. Welcome to the show, Mr. Stephen Fowler, watching me from Chigusu Factory area. Master Sherry watches me from Hansburg, Germany. He said, good afternoon, Jala. J. Oliver Givler is watching me from somewhere in Bon County. He says, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. I'm watching you from Banga, Bon County this afternoon. Prince River says, Baba is watching me. This guy wants to leave me, but PC cannot leave me this way. He's here with me. That guy Yawate is watching me. That guy Yawate is watching me this afternoon. Please share the video where you are, how will you see it, how will you listen. This is ELBC Radio. Let me say good afternoon to my guys there at Radio somewhere in San Nicolas County who are also relaying the national radio. You are welcome. You know, President George Weah has been visiting several districts in Monserrado. As a matter of fact, in the last thank you program, the president ended in Monserrado. He started and ended in the rural parts of Monserrado. That was in District 1 and other districts adjacent to District 17. But this the president has been intensifying his campaign trail in almost all of the districts. Today he was in district number 1 that comprises Bentor, my mother's home, and that of Carisburg, going towards Todi and other areas, Fennel. And one thing I listened to a lady who said one thing. It touched me and it touched me to the bottom of my heart. And that what it tells you that President George Weah is a man with wisdom. He always sees people when they are down. He wants to identify with them. You know, during Madam Salih time, and under this Vice President Joseph Nyuman Boakai, they were ill-advised by authorities of the University of Liberia that people have built homes on the land, Fennel land. People built beautiful homes there. Those homes were there, and then they did a survey and said those homes were on the university land. Knowing fully well that the guys have built their homes there, they set up a committee to investigate who built houses there. But guess what happened? The guys moved there. Honorable Katakumi Murray, former lawmaker of District 3 at the time of District 3, he built a university called University of the Air, 3-story building. I was driving from Bon County one day, not Bento, and I stopped. I saw him. And I said, "You get a building?" He said, "Yes." He said, "I'm building this building. I'm building this structure because I want the University of the Air not just be on the radio. We want to have an establishment here." Can you imagine the guys moved and broke down that 3-story building along with several other residents who were there? They were dethroned, they were removed from their homes, villages were burned, broken down. So when Mr. President spoke, and before he spoke, this woman came and said, "President, we'll get a one-round victory." You know why? After we broke our homes down, some people died because they were frustrated. And after they died, their children got, some of them became Zogos around here. So when I hear someone say, when Jesus become president, there'll be no Zogo anytime, I ask them. But Zogo started on the administration. Why did you put into that? If at first it was just 500 persons, they are around the graveyard area, they call Zogos. But they are multiplying every part of the country. Everywhere you go, you see Zogos. President Weah has committed $526,000 US as initial support to the rehabilitation of these Zogos. That is an initial amount to $1 million. We have raised almost $50,000 on a show for the Ministry of Youth and Sports as ELBC's contribution to funding these Zogos to rehabilitate them. So the woman was saying to us, President Weah, we thank you. Do you know that this president has committed $1 million initial support for the relocation of those people whose homes were broken in Fennel? Do you know how long they cry in this country on a Madam Salif? 4 years they cried, they died, but they died. My brother is in Zero Diamond Town in Lofa County. His name is Brian. He had a home there. He came from Lofa a few days ago. He came to Morovia, and when he came, he said, "My place, I can't see my space." But that's the man called George Weah. So these guys who are here, they will introduce themselves. I want them to talk for themselves and their institution. They will tell you reasons why President Weah should be re-elected. They are an auxiliary of the CDC, and they want to speak about it. You will call your institution's name. I will not say. I want you to introduce it with your own mouth and talk about it. So these are some of the things the president is doing. I will tell you the itinerary for tomorrow before the program ends. If the Honorable Jordan Slaughter posts it in the government chat room, which I'm a part of it, then I'll tell you where the president goes tomorrow. Again, I'm privileged. My name is Jala Griffith to have these distinguished and esteemed brothers in the studio. Let me start with my own friend and brother. You're quiet,
How you doing, sir?
Yes, call your name, sir. Mr. Chairman, and call your name of your institution.
I'm very pleased once more to be in your studio. I'm Gerald Emmanuel Tao, the National Advisory Council Chair for the Realist Movement and Chief Spokesperson.
Realist Movement.
Yeah, Chief Spokesperson.
Welcome, sir. Let me go to my next brother.
Well, thank you so much, Jala. It's good to be in your studio. And let me say thank you so much. And I did not my debut here.
Oh, welcome.
So I'm so much happy to be here today in ELBC. My name is Karim Ibrahim Kroman, the chairman of the Realist Movement.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Let me go to my friend and brother there who are in the Universal Liberia. We know who did there. Patrice, welcome. Welcome. Just introduce yourself.
Thank you, Jala. I'm Patrice J. Drobler, National Vice Chairperson for the Realist Movement.
Okay, thank you for coming. Let me start with the chairman. Tell us about this institution. How did it come about? What is the membership like? And what do we stand for?
Well, thank you so much. We started this movement since last year. And, our own aims and objectives is to make sure that President Weah, our own friend, become president for a second term. And our mission, because our institution cuts across the entire political space of our country. We have a lot of people from different people, from different parties in this wellness movement. People from the Liberty Party, people from the ANC, people from the Unity Party, they are all there.
Really?
Definitely. There are individuals who believe the President Weah have done so well.
Even though they have a party, they think that their party is not ready for the presidency.
Definitely.
So you join hands in your hand.
Definitely. So, our mission is to go beyond people who are from the CDC.
Okay.
Our mission is to...
Because those guys are already for you already.
Definitely. So we are going to people in the very political parties to convince them. And we are convinced enough of them. They are also, they have joined the wellness movement. I can tell you that people in the structure of our movement are from the different political parties. From the Unity Party, from the ANC, from the Liberty Party, and all other parties. So our mission and vision is to make sure that those individuals who have not decided to vote, those individuals who are sitting on the fence, individuals from different political parties who believe the president we have done so well over the short period of time. And they don't want to be, those quote unquote, individuals who want to play politics. No, they want to be sincere and they want to be patriotic. They want to show that President Weah become president, because what President Weah has done in a short period of time, in less than 3 years, no president in this country has ever done it. So they have been very much, realistic. They want to make sure that President Weah come back and end what he began. So this organization is an organization that cut across every space of our country. We have we are in the 15 counties. We are all over the country. We are in the 17 districts. So everywhere President Weah goes, we always see and our banner of people there, because you know what, we are doing everything possible to have a first round victory. You can't have a first round victory if all you need to believe in people for CDC. You must be able to go out there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your TC comments. Let me come to Orojero. Gerald, you want to tell us? I will come to the vice chair, Mr. Jevlo, but I want to. He talked about you being established and you have your structures in all the counties.
Precisely.
And the structures of Montserrat, you are also represented.
Yeah.
How did you
Precisely.
in the counties? In Young Auxiliary Group, now you in all of the counties. How did you get there, and how is your strength like in terms of finances? Because people want to see you moving to those areas. They want to see the finances you have instead of sales.
The realist movement is an embodiment of a national mosaic that represents every Liberian from all walks of life. Our mission, like the chairman just rightly put it, we are recruiting people from different political persuasion, people who never thought that President Weah would have done well. But now they believe in himself that President Weah has done well, and there's a reason for President Weah to be re-elected again. And as for the finances and what you're talking about, our movement is a broad-based national movement. At certain point in time, we mobilize resources among ourselves to see how best we can propagate the message of the party and President Weah. And over the period of time, Tara, when Liberia went into civil war, there were a lot of intermittent crises we had in our civil war. When we were stampeded into exile, and we had that sense of nostalgia, there was one man that had hope for us. That was President George Weah. At the time, he left his comfort home and decided to come to Liberia to salvage the surviving remnant of our civil war. We were there, and he himself too came together. We all came together and decided to put our people together and tell them that there's a need that we harness our national resolve so we can go back to our country, to build our country, to have a patronage system of everybody that will be involved in the mosaic. So now we have President Weah as our leader. The essence of the realist movement is to galvanize forces so that in this coming election, that President Weah will become victorious for the second time. And which, of course, we are sure based on his patent tangibles that he has demonstrated over a period of time. Whatever the situation, our organization is there to disabuse the minds of the people on those wrong narratives that the opposition is spewing out. For example, look at the situation with the University of Liberia. Initially, you have 5,000 enrollment. Now you got about 20,000 enrollment. Before, you never had an e-porter system where you decide to go to a bathroom, sit on your commode, and plan your courses.
Just on your phone.
Yeah, on your phone. Unlike before, you have pregnant women used to go to on the campus, stay online, but
very long queues at the university
campus. At times, they get disappointed. Some of them got fainted.
And they will not even roll in that semester because of the long queues.
Yeah, but nowadays, the narrative have changed. Okay? President Weah now he has paid the WAS fees. So what the issue at stake that the opposition really want from this particular president? He has done almost everything for our country. He built a referral hospital in Bapulu. He built another hospital in Grand County. He got 100 bedroom facilities for residents of Grand. He got another place where he built an invisible park. People have made a serious recreational center. Like before, where they had objection to that. Now you find the people who have objection, they and their family members, they are all trooping towards the invisible park. You get a PHP park. You get a Clarendon park. A lot of things are moving on in social development. So what our presence here is to tell the Liberian people, there's no way that you can exclude President Weah from this particular national process because he has done well for the country. And I would think that he can be re-elected based upon his tangible. These are the reasons we are about to unveil to tell the Liberian people exactly.
Okay, let me put a halt to your conversation and go to Mr. Patrice Juloplair. Patrice, welcome. You are the vice chair for what?
Mobilization.
And who are you mobilizing?
Oh, certainly. As the chairman rightly said, our institution is good across all political spectrum of the Liberian society.
Okay.
More especially, we also deal with people in the professional services. It comes people from the NGO background. Due to that work, they don't involve in the forefront of politics, but they see that President Well have done well, and they want to vote for him. They need a movement that they can associate with. We get people in the banking sector. We have branches in all the banks around the Republic of Liberia. So we also have been established in the rural part of this country. As we speak, we get establishment in all the counties, in Nimba, Bon, Lofa, you can name the rest.
Before I go to the next question, let me welcome my big brother and friend, the former commissioner of Johnsonville, Mervyn Betty. He's tuned to the conversation right now this afternoon. But he talked about reaching out to the people in the rural parts. You listen to the chairman. It was buttressed by Mr. Joro Tao. Now he has come to you, a mobilization chair. Where are you reaching out to? Who are you reaching out to? He talked about people from different backgrounds in different political parties. What is a message, or what are the messages you're sticking to them? What are the pieces of evidence you're taking to them that this is what George has done, this is what George has done, this is what he has accomplished? And based on these tangibles, you can relate him. What is the messaging like about the old man and old man in the village who can speak BB English you're speaking? How are you messaging your messages? Speaking local English to them that they will understand that Joey had very rogo in the lofa, even though you didn't vote in internet on T. What is it like? I just want to listen to you, the mobilization chair.
Oh, okay, thank you, Jack. As you already said, we get people that we involve in the vernacular of the county, and for Eastern Lofa, as you said, for case study, we get our chairperson of Lofa County, who is mostly involved in speaking the local language to the people. As we speak now, from Bon County, we cross the Sipora River, you get a pavement all the as far as Saturday district, the first district, Lofa, and go towards Zozo. So our people there, I'm telling the people there that look, your children at the junior college in Vonjima is no longer paying tuition. The electricity at best, it is going towards as far as Foya. As we speak, the poles are being printed, wires are being run all over the place. So gradually cover will be as far as the entire Lofa County. So you go to River G for Eastern, Fishtown. We get our guy who is in Fishtown talking the local global language to the people there, the dialect to the people as well. And I will speak Fishtown have been elected as covered all over Fishtown. So the business people now is mostly enjoying their business establishment, cool water, drink, what have you. So you go as far as a million towards Greenville.
All right, let me welcome some of the guys who have joined us. Siba T. Kenny is watching with us from the USA. Siba, are you in the country or you are in the US? I know you always around sometime in Liberia. Kolwa B. Akwe, a Liberian journalist, is following me from Vonjama. Emmanuel Kane is following me. He said, thanks for the good job. I join you from Bomi County. Jacob Morgan is watching me from somewhere. He says, watching live from Uminga community. George Lamandan is watching me from somewhere in, he said, I just love second guess. Second guess what? I'm big, you know, say that George Lamandan, you let him ask about. Courage Man CA is watching me. Thanks for the job well done. Courage Mom is saying that. Let me go and take this one, and I know who or here, then I can come back to my guest because we need to have this interactive. Juja Wanwe is watching me from Johnsonville, while Wanda Bate is watching me from Grand Julia County. Prince T. Weir has joined me from districts, Plymouth Sullivan District, Obedience. Kati has joined me from the Harbor VOA community. Chris Silly has joined me from somewhere. I'm the grandson of the late chief actor Borogwa Silly from Zlatan, Do Administrative District in Zwiedru, in Grand Julia County. Latsana Foley has joined me. Courage Man C has joined me. Daka Yorote has joined me. Juji Wanaway, I read your comment. And so I will go back and I come to the guys. My guys say they are here. Let me read few of the guys. Jalake Akuwala, Patrice Montiso Jobla. It's me. That you know from you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Akwe from
Yeah.
Jala Akwe Akuwala. Yeah. Magda is joining me from the consultant office in Sinka. Alfonso Sibo Kofi is joining me. Samuel Momo has joined me. Jonathan Segajibo Na has joined me. Magda, Sebati, Kane, and Horton Flomo, they are watching with me. Ambassador Gabriel Salati has joined me, watching from Harper City. J. Martin Gofa is watching me from Banga City. J. Numayu Fokesie is joining me from the GSC office, or maybe around his residence in the Pinsway area. Seba is watching. He said, we are 2023, we move. That's what Sebati Kane said. Abel Gonoti is watching. He said, the Netherlands. He's watching from the Netherlands. Michelle Batwa, watching from Santa Cruz City, Nima County. Horton Flomo is watching me from the office on Broad Street. And my greetings to Honorable BT, Nyan Betty. Tell you hi for me. John Mensa is watching me from somewhere in Painesville. And Seba is always coming on in the post. I can't read all the comments. I will come back again to read some of your comments later. That's the beauty of the show. Those who are watching, we need to acknowledge their presence and acknowledge their listening role. Now, let me talk about the General Tao. Now, the president has been visiting many of the districts in Monserrado. As a matter of fact, few districts are left. He had to visit them before he goes to the counties. What is your perception? What is your thinking of the visitation? What is analogy of the crowd? Because this is about a crowd. There's a crowd politics that usually plays a lot in the election. When he put up people the first time at the ATS, it was a very normal crowd. Again, he moved to the party headquarters and the appreciation program, and he saw people working for all walks of life. People say the crowd is deceitful. But one thing that matters is not just about the crowd converging at a particular place, like what happened in Carisburg today, but your ability to move in the districts, talk to the people one-to-one, as people conceive it to be a Jehovah's Witness approach. How prepared is this realist movement to move to those districts in Monserrado? Talk to the people one-to-one, because sometimes the crowd you see will be deceitful, or you think this crowd is a genuine crowd that can turn Joshua into another president in 2023 October.
In any electionary process, in a democracy, our politics matters a lot. In this man we are talking about, George Manenwea, for the past 35 years, he has been a popular figure on the national stage of our politics. There's no doubt about it. He has been a popular figure on the national stage of our politics. And I believe demographics still favors the man, because you see young people are being attracted to this man, either out of stardomship or out of his realistic what he has been doing for our country. This man has not been a simple person that he enter a particular place where you don't see anybody. So for the fact that the crowd, he's been moved all along by crowd and crowd been moving by him, in itself is a plausible achievement in politics. Okay? If you engage in politics, you decide to put yourself in a narrow confine. For example, our brother from the other side in the Unity Party, they got an office around the FE belt. Mm-hmm. That place is a narrow territory. There's no visibility. In politics, visibility matter. That's alone our headquarters, the national headquarters, mm-hmm. where it's on the main boulevard. It's very visible. You see people moving around there. So it got some effect. Even when you stay in the car, you disagree with the man. But when you see the number, you see the multitudinal crowd, in itself, it can convince you to either do it out of peer pressure, or you feel that this man, people has been gravitating to him for a long time. So this man has not been a person who people are not gravitating for a long time. The past 35 years, he has been a popular figure. He's the most popular Liberian that ever lived. He's a super patriot. He has been doing well for his people in his country. George Wright never came to politics at the hand of building mountain of corpses over his fellow compatriots to lead. He never did that. He now offered the Liberian people killing bonanza to lead. He came into the politics at the will and pleasure of the masses of the people. The people have always been gravitating towards him. George Wright is a simple man. He's a kind-hearted character. This is why the masses believe in him. They see him.
Somebody said to me, he's a human magnet.
Seriously, they see him as themselves. So for the fact the man is part of the mosaic that everybody represents in itself is an achievement in politics. When you have a political leader who people gravitate toward, it makes you feel so happy, so overwhelmed, so elated. So as we go into this election, you'll see so many people gravitating around President Weah. Even a few days ago in Nima County, you saw the euphoria that was there.
I will go to the opposition politicking with that of George Weah versus the opposition. I'll talk about that for a few minutes. We'll go. But let me come back to Chairman Kroma. In terms of infrastructure, let's go to the health sector. You may want to speak to your people in simple English and tell our people in the villages where you have the structure according to you. How do you tell them about the issue of health in this country? When Mr. President was building the first military hospital here, they were criticizing him. Where does he go this one? Why you going to create JFK? Why you go there be nothing? But we saw Mr. President going to dedicate that particular structure. He said, when I started this work, they said I couldn't carry anywhere. But they are sons and daughters of this country from opposition, where they come from. They are tripping there because it's one of the best hospitals now in Liberia. I listened to the military people yesterday on my friend and brother show, Clarence Jackson Morning Show yesterday. They were encouraging Liberians. Whether you are from the opposition community, anywhere you come from, you have a party emblem on you. Whether you are wounded, you can go to that place. They will treat you without any reservation that you come from opposition parties because they are non-politician. Let's know about what you want to say to the people about the health structure in this country. What this person has done in terms of health.
Well, what I want to say is that I will tell them, look, in 2014, when we had the crisis of Ebola in this country, you saw that our health sector was zero. Understand me? We didn't even have a single ambulance in this country. We saw Sir Joseph, who was from the opposition, who was helping a lot. Understand me? And it took those when he came to power, his first project, where you saw something happening. His first project was to build the military hospital, first time in the history of this country. When the opposition were laughing and saying you're going to create an earthquake. Today, in that process, because of the sensibility, he decided to build that structure and it helped during the COVID period. All right, we were here when even the JFK had a serious crisis in this country where people couldn't even have a single tablet. And you saw George Weah, the first president in Liberia, who came from nowhere, who they said he knew nothing. He decided to bring up a dialysis and the machines that will be able to check us in this country. He brought many things. Now the JFK is being refurbished. The JFK has been reformed. Understand me? Today we don't have to go anywhere to go and bring surgery. We have one of the best surgeons in the country through the president of this country. As a matter of fact, President Willie doesn't stop there. In Bakulu County, where you see people say, "Oh, that place and nobody there." But President Weah development is not the issue of
The place that was known only for jailing opposition figures on the door administration. Bella Yala is there in that area. So the people from Bella Yala, from parts adjacent, can come there at that hospital and be treated.
So you see,
So Baba was not known for good thing. It was only known for rebellious people who were taking their
definitely. So now you have a 100-bedroom hospital right in Bakulu County. People are complaining. Why is it President Weah have to go and build a hospital? Then of course, President Weah development is not centered around people who have many people, but every individual in the country must be able to benefit from the resources of our country. So we go to these people and tell them, look, the president concerned about you. In Grand County, as far as the soil is, this man decided to build a modern hospital to be able to take care of people in that entire southeast. In Grand Bassa County, the man also have a referral hospital. So this man concerned about the sector of the health sector is very much paramount. And he's somebody who understands that Liberia, he is part of us. He knows what he went through. That's the reason why you see in every sector of this country, the president has done so much. He has done a lot to the extent in less than 3 years. No president could have done it before. So the people in the interior, I saw you asking, my vice chair, how will you tell the people? You know, the wellness movement, we have done our best to make sure that we found a projector that will catalog all of the present development. And we're moving. We're not going to route for President where to go before we go. Tomorrow or so on Friday, we'll be leaving from here to go to Bomi and Cape Mount
ahead of the president's visit.
Definitely. We're going to make sure that we show our people that they can develop the president we have done for a short period of time. Because if you take COVID and I mean, if you take everything happening, president we are having the 3 years to breathe. Understand? And he did his best. He did everything possible to make sure that he did a lot within the last 3 years. So it is very important. That's the reason why we're saying we're telling you, Jala, that we're not going to people who are seditionists. We are going to individuals who are undecided, individuals who believe that President we have not done nothing because of the opposition statements, individuals who are in the Green Party and other parties around here, to convince them to be able to go President Weah, because you know what, President Weah development are all seen and visible, they're not abstract.
I'll come to you, to Patrick's Jolo player. Let me read a few of the comments coming again. These are our international audience. Liberian and international audience here. Seba T. Cannon comes again. She's very active this afternoon from the US. She said, we're moving on 18th Street. Yeah, as we heard it on 18th Street. So George, we have number 18 on the ballot. So those of you listening to us, when you go to the bar to go vote, look for number 18. You just vote someone. You say, I moved to 18th Street. And, I was like confused. Then later I got to somebody say, but it is number 18. Facebook is always full of fun. Bobby Bossman says, thanks for the update, Chief Jala from DJ American 72nd Painesville. Clarence S. Joe Jr. watching me from Vanimalofa County. Stephen M.T. Lama is watching me from Tori Nyen District. James H. Williams watching me from Makibi, we move, he says. Ambassador Edward Nyagbai Vatike watching me from GS Rosina Hill Community. Christopher Bernard watching me from Lower Makibi County. Martin Colley says, my name is Matthew Martin M. Colley. I join you from Bone County. Chris S. Tassler watching me from, I didn't want to say Bomb, so we didn't put it already in there. Emmanuel Glasgow watching you from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Melvin Natana Jolo watching me from Painesville. Christy Tassler he said George Manawia all the way. County Demi, well done, watching from Santa Cruz, Nima County. Arthur Jones, good afternoon, Jala. I'm crazy following from Grand Judah Zai Town. Jenkins Tamale, he said unique. And Samson W. Robertson, watching from Maryland County, Harper City. Matthew Tume Jr. is watching. Is it from Pueblo Road? Yes, my young nurse is watching me from Pueblo Road. Matthew Tume Jr. How are you doing, my brother, my young brother? Chris S. Tasla has joined me and said that's a true Rufus Peewee. Good luck watching from Fort Island Community, Bon County, Banga. Lawrence N. Strutter, I'm watching live from Abidjan. Clarence S. Joe Jr. watching me. He says, good afternoon, Jala. Clarence Joe is my name. I'm following you live from Vanyama City. Thanks for joining us. Michelle Batwa is watching me from somewhere. He said, please, President Weah has done absolutely well, but the mistake you have all made is not educating Liberians enough about what the president is doing. And that's why they said they will go all out about that. Michelle Batwa. Thanks for that. Lawrence N. Strutter is watching me from Abidjan City. Alfred T. Newman has joined me. It's a good topic. Watching from India. Samuel Seong, Jala, and Bishop Samuel, and Bishop Simeon, and Bishop Sion, and we all fully support our Weah. Re-election. Thanks to our leader in studio. Bravo, guys. Bravo. That's Samuel Seong. Joe Handsome F. Weah. Great watching you, my brother. Joe Handsome Weah is a representative candidate in district number 4. He wants to take off the representative who is there right now, the current representative. Let me see, go Honorable Emmanuel Bolagon has joined me. Stanley Bossy is joining me from somewhere. He said upper 18 on the ballot box. I remain Stanley Bossy falling from he says Clarence S. Joe Jr. I can't read all the comments. There are many coming. I'll read some later when I'm doing my monologue if my guest Mr. Bashir doesn't come on the show. Let me come to you, my friend and brother, Patrice Duplan. Yeah. Now, Patrice, you've been around, but I want to start with you for this question. The opposition is claiming one round victory. They say they will win one round. When I see my uncle Joseph Buck, I saw him and his son Jojo on Facebook. They are one round victory. When you see Nyomi Kanga, she's dancing on Facebook, 1-1 victory. The CDC is saying we win 1-1 victory. But then the question was that they said, but every campaign, I didn't see the opposition campaigning. That's a question. I'm not saying them, but I'm told they will come up next week. But what do you think about a 1-1 victory for President Weah? Is it possible?
Very possible, General.
What's the possibility?
Well, very simple. As we speak, the opposition is crying now. President Weah is going all out under the rain, and the people realize that this campaign for under the rain CC. So the tangibles are there. Jala. President Weah was my vice chair, vice chair, Tableau said. President Weah had been doing before coming to the presidency. He had been a gift to the Liberian people. Besides the presidency, President Weah have done a lot for this country. And when he came to the presidency, he continued his work as well. Let's look at the wax fee. President Weah have been paying for over 10,000 to 15,000 Liberian students. Those days when President Weah was playing football, when he comes to Liberia, he received over 2,000 to 3,000 students before he do. Why? They wanted to pay the national exam fee by then, And when he come, you see university student at University of Liberia go before his door to pay the University of Liberia fees. So when he was playing football, he decided to establish a scholarship scheme on the university campus. And Jala, to be frank, I'm one of those beneficiaries. Yes, the last time when he got saying, man, you're calling it lifting.
Everyone got saying,
I thought I was different lifting, you're calling for that. I said, how many got there?
The structure there, you benefited from it, and that's why I brought the argument at some point when somebody alleged that it was Honorable Gafan then who was the also president who benefited from that. He said no, it was an argument at the time.
But the issue is the scholarship existed. Either Gafan benefited or he didn't benefit. That's not the issue. The issue is that we Liberians benefited from the scholarship. Now, as we speak, Jara, 1-1 victory. The question is of a 1-1 victory. It's very certain. Because the real leadership have brought more volunteer teachers on payroll. Under President Real leadership, increment in doctor salaries have been done. Doctor will honor pay, but under the president regime, doctor is making more money compared to the past.
2,000 health workers who were left as a result of the departure of anybody who had no hope of being integrated into the system were placed on payroll, and they make up to $2,000 on a President Weah.
That's the kind
I'm a witness of that.
Exactly. So as we go forward and on, and President Weah have been doing more. Look at the West Plain page. Look, President Weah said, look, the government, those days, the Liberian government used to be for the quote-unquote elite. He said, no, all those in the slum community should feel part and parcel of the development care of the state. He went to West Point, money lies in West Point fee over the years. That's my hometown. That I was born around, and I knew how when the rainfall, West Point fee is now playable. But now to speak now, the train play in the evening games.
Wow!
Look at Clapton where he hails from. Just yesterday, witnessed the dedication of the Clapton Park. The train Clapton, they don't have to go as far as 8 years to play the body football. They stay wearing Clapton and play the body football. As we speak, Yuguta fee is under construction. Pretty soon will be dedicated the PHP Park. These are tangibles that President Weah have done. So the issue of a 1-1 is very certain.
I will go to the line very shortly to take some observation from the people out there. But let me come to you just in 1 minute each. The politics is around Nima County. It's around Bassa, where Nyomi Kanga comes from. Obviously, you see the man called former Senator Benson Gafile leaning on the other side. Daniel Chi was with them, but later he defected to the CDC. You see the Nyomi Kanga, you see the Charlie Bromsky, they on opposite sides though. But Bassa remain contested for. You go to Nima, the Prince Joseph father plays a lot in Nima because he's a political godfather as he claims he is. You see, Roland will move into to be the next senator. He tells the people we fought the 40-year civil war. Prince Johnson, who fought in the 9 months war, has been rewarded plenty time for 18 years. But this my time to be, and it's George Weah's time to be. You listen to the people of Bali, they say, George has built a school, in our school, but he built bridges for us here. A pastor called Pastor Roberts yesterday, and I were on this show, I called him up. He tells us about a modern bridge built by the government. He says, anyone who comes here to the campaign will run after you if you can and say bad about George Weah. So the parliament is playing Nima, is playing in Basa, it will play in Lofa. Lofa now, Thomas Farah is making some headways there, but in the Foya belt, and then he's ascending to Kolahun. I've been there, I know what is happening there. I went as far as Zozo and Benjamin. And Lofa, like before, is not on the firm grip of this unity party. That's one. So these countries are named. How do you think George Weah can make a mark? Let's start from Lofa and the other countries are named up. Just you want me to say,
first of all, I want to supplement what the vice chair for mobilization just said. Okay, if you look at the statistics, 2017, George Weah won the election. Second person was Joseph Boakai. The third person was Bronsky. The fourth was Prince Johnson. Now you got Bronsky out of the picture. Prince Johnson out of the picture. I'm discussing statistics now. Prince Johnson out of the picture. You got Ure.
Is he out of the picture completely, you think?
I'm talking of on the presidential level.
Okay, but now he comes as
from the presidential perspective.
Okay.
So if you harness all the numbers, it got something to do with the kind of gains the president has made over the period of time. Okay? So based upon those factors, gave us a clue that indeed there will be a first round victory for the president of Liberia based upon a tangible and those statistics. Because people will be gravitating for different political perspective. Other people say, I'm over the fence. Other people say, but since President Weah has done this, I think I'll go on his side. So if you look at the Nima vote, it's like a Californian vote. When you have Nima, it means that you got a Californian vote, just like America. So our people have been doing exceedingly well. In Nima County, you got more than 22 projects that the government has carried on there. They are very much elated with what the president has done for them. Okay, there are people who are very much proud of themselves, who are very much grateful to this president. So when you look at the Nima bill, Madam Sali sat down here, she had a Sanikole with Mitchell Steel agreement. It was not forthcoming, but President Weah came, he did a pavement, the Sanikole road. Here we are today.
It was a promise they made to the people that will pave the road.
Yeah, they faltered on the promise. So you got a Ganta Saklepi road. There's a long stretch of road out there. The president is doing well. All the roads I look at too, the president is doing well.
Okay.
Then you got more than 10 schools. You know, people just look at Monrovia, but you got some schools in Upper Tier, in Nima County, far better, almost like the MCSS school.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will come to Chairman Kroma. That name is 9 months to either Nima or Lofa, one of those counties. And if you go to Lofa and you say from Lofa, then I will tell me about the metrics in Lofa. But let me welcome Mr. Chester Gonwika. He said where re-election is a must. Ominga Tali has joined me from Grand Juliet County. Etel Andrews, my sister is there in the USA. Etel, how is my friend buddy Emmanuel Andrews? I'm told you have joined your family in the USA. Etel Chester Gwawuka said President tangible will speak for him at the Balabas. Never Kotu is called never Pewet never. The guy is keeping a good work watching you guys from the 18. Thank you. Chester, you've been sending a lot of text messages. Roland Gape and watching from Grand Cayman County. George, we want J. Dominic Farley, the editor of the In Profile Daily newspaper, is joining on this live Facebook feed. Michel Batwa is joining me. He says you have more work to do in Nima here. Nima is dominantly leading towards a rescue team. They say. He said that they say. That's Michel Batwa. He said more work to be done in Nima. And that's Michel Batwa. Thanks for that information. He said, good afternoon. Thanks so much. I'm joining you from New Georgia Oldfield. It's Ben J. Boyman. He's saying that one. Let me come to the chairman.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say this. I'm from Nima County. As a matter of fact, I'm from Frompa. It's a town. Before you go to Sakte PA, you pass through the Iwa Kokupa, you go to Sakte PA, you go in there.
Okay.
And for almost more than 100 years, as a matter of fact, we've not seen quota in my hometown from Nima County. Prince Johnson has become a political sour soup. Now in the
political sour soup.
Sour soup in Nima County.
What do you mean by that?
We've given Prince Johnson 18 years. What has Nima County benefited? 18 consecutive years is not 18 days.
Good afternoon. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Maurice. I'm calling from Joe Community.
Maurice, you have 20 seconds rather. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Let me say thank you to the people in the studio, but for me, the only thing I want to do is the church measure I got things. They should take the measure to the people. Me and our grandma, one of our grandma come and came and let me. He said, a little more Babla, she coming out, she pushing all of measure against the president. So me and our
But ma'am, this is campaign time. You expect about Babla to tell good about George we are?
No way, boy.
When Joe we are poor good, you expect to tell good about Joseph Boakai?
No.
So the challenge, you just challenge them. They need to go to the people, as I said, go to the trenches and talk to the people. You don't expect the guys of Unity Party to go and preach Jovia's message. And you don't expect Jovia to go speak a message of Cummings or Joseph Boakai. So that's just it. That's a win-win situation, my brother. Thank you a lot. Thank you so very kindly. Let me take the next caller. Obviously, these are political times. You don't expect that. Hello, welcome you on the Bumper Show. Jacob Town, your line is breaking. Oh, let me hear you. Joseph Colley, go ahead. I'm hearing now. Go ahead.
So the issue, the president is at 11. The president has done exceptionally well. But just need, I mean, the party just need to disseminate the message the Putin and president has done. And the guy who gave reference to Nima country, the people need to work there. I see people footage of, I mean, President Johnson and Kung, you know, the people are sending on their program there, but the government need to work.
Okay.
A lot of work to do.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thanks, the guys who are in the field and campaigning. They exactly know what you're talking about. Hello, welcome. You are on the Bumper Show. What's your name, sir?
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Abednego Smith, and I'm joining you from.
Abednego from Plebo, right? Maryland County. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah. I've been following the show, and actually, it's the issue of this one round stuff. My concern is that if this COVID government is talking about one round, and people from the CDC start continue to propagate the message of what the president has done. I think the president should not be going in the rings and showing the campaign.
So what do you expect the president to do now?
When you leave money to the horse now, you won't need to worry for food in your horse again. Your food out again, you'll be in the pool.
So you expect the president to sit down because he's saying one round victory? Not even the president who's saying it. Members of the opposition, Joseph Boakai, will say one round too. Yeah, then why are they saying it too?
No, but Joseph Boakai is not president.
Oh, but you know you're vice president for 12 years, right?
And
then we should be listen now. Then you have a dialogue. It's not a monologue, right? Then, if that's the case, Joseph Boakai will have campaigned on those tangibles he did in 2005 or 2017, which were led to his election. But he sat there as a sitting vice president, a main opposition, winning in the election with so many margins, so many huge votes. So why didn't he win on those tangibles? Did you see him campaigning in the trenches there too?
No, that's what I'm saying.
But you know, so that argument does not survive. That argument does not survive. It is not an argument I can survive here because what I just contested against you, I'm just saying to you because
it's not.
Absolutely.
So if you, I think you should allow me to.
But your statement has been defaced by what I just said. So there's no argument there. Others have to participate. You're talking about what the president should just sit down home. He shouldn't go to campaign and be complacent. I think that's why led to the defeat of Joseph Boakai because he felt that he has been there for 12 years. They have no tangible, so he started Joe walking away. So he wants Joe to sit down. Even though all that he has, he said he must sit down in campaign. My people.
They may leave money home, so you shouldn't go back to work.
Yeah, you might go back to work.
Money.
Of course. Let me take this caller. Hello, welcome.
How are you, Jala Greenfield? This is I'm joining you from Barclayville City.
Barclayville City in Grand Creek County. How are you?
Barclayville is Jala.
Wow.
We should not waste our time keep talking to the young. We already know that that's also all for them put themselves in new bottle. Joe Nima Buaka was vice president in this country. He must tell it that they squander the resources, they squander the opportunity that Liberian people have. George Weah is trying to bring Liberia and leave. We as Liberia trying to see Liberia getting on a rightful path. When they say Joseph Nima Buaka, we can't say down here and Joseph Nima Buaka win the election. We will do all we can as solution that we can beat the people in the first round. Our brother will just raise the argument there. Honorable Joseph Buaka was vice president and we won him. He was campaigning.
But as a matter of fact, to tell that he was resistant and they didn't want him, the sitting president of the country, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who shall turn over to you, say, this is my successor. Turn her back against you and told George Weah to Banga to have a groundbreaking ceremony for the Banga Minikoma Highway that is under construction now. And Ellen gave all answers to George Weah. It means that Ellen did not even want to be president at the time.
Big brother Jala.
Yes, sir.
Jala, we should not waste our time.
Okay.
Madam Ellen knew that she saw the inability of Joseph Buaka to become president of the country.
Thank you. The next caller is here. Welcome. He's been on the line for long. Hello, welcome.
Okay, thank you. My name is Liva Eskelo, Alastat boy, calling from Senegal, the political capital of Nema County.
Welcome for Senegal. Let me hear you.
Yeah, honestly, the entering of Honorable Prince Edward Johnson into Nema County have confirmed that indeed the Nema people are resolved. And I just got to clarify the myth in the air that people in Nema County are not yet following Senator Johnson, because what we see here today as they pass to go Ikepa, the entire area is locked down. The people are getting it back.
Okay.
And it just shows that people believe in Senator Johnson.
Okay.
And if what we are seeing, if we continue like this, meaning if our president will get vote in Ibakande, it will not reach far.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the men go ahead and say, you say your own, but honorable say that. You know, that's the democracy. Hello, welcome. Let me hear you. I will take this call as a founder. Hello? Hello? Are you there? This guy is, hello, are you there? To the next caller. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, hello, people like Jala.
Hello, welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm not coming this far. I'm going from Benue County.
Miss, let me hear you. Go ahead.
There are the opposition have nothing to tell Liberian people. Now, Joseph Buaka has squandered all the resources, and today they're coming back to us say that they want to be president in this country. Nothing they can tell us again. That's why we are really a showcase.
Okay. And so let me read these few comments, then I come back and call to my guests who had their part in comment. Mentor Sarah says he's joining us from Nigeria. Mentor Sarah says, please bring me online. Just follow the show as you're doing, you'll be online. Lee Nipan is watching us from Grand Creek County, Southtown Beach, hometown of President Weah. That's what he says. Leo Nipan. Flex Chilier is watching us from Zredru Grand Jida County. Said thanks for the president. Keep up the good work. About Pema Wele is joining me. He said the Minister of Education, Health and Public Works need to come out to tell the Liberian people more about the president. And then they are doing that already. Ethel Andrews is still watching me. My sister Ethel Andrews watches me from the USA. Let me just take this guy. He's trying to force himself in. Let me take him for just 10 seconds. Hello, welcome. Hello?
Yeah.
You are the final caller. I'll give you 10 seconds to make your case.
Thank you all so much. I'm Benedict Harris calling from Sunny Coast City, Nema County.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been following your show.
Mm-hmm.
But, one thing that really caused me to call is that people, many callers are, capitalizing on Joseph Buaka's statement that they squander opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I want to tell those callers...
So, isn't that true that he said those words?
He said it.
So what modification do you want to make now? If the man who came and said he has squandered opportunities, so how do you want to modify his comment, or what do you want to say about it? How do you find to his comment? That's the question.
I want to inject something into what the callers have been saying. The callers have been saying Joe Buaka said they squandered the Liberian opportunity. he's saying they because there were many involved, even the judge where himself, he was part of the government that Joe Walker was talking about. So you can't capitalize on Joe Walker's statement.
Okay, you were allotted 10 seconds. You've gone 2 minutes now, according to what I had. 1 minute 30 seconds. Thank you. Let me come to you guys. Just 15-20 seconds each to close up. Let me start with Mr. Gerald, who is the your position again?
National.
Yes, but just avoid touching the microphone. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think to summarize everything, needless to talk more over and over because it will be repetition. The issue at stake here, President Weah is going to win on the first ballot, first round. Okay? If you look at the statistics, Waka had 446,716. He came to 8.76%. Bronski had 149,495. He came 9.62%. Johnson had 127,660. He came 8.2%. So what I'm saying, all the guys, and when they are absent, the numbers will be different. There will be variances in the number. And based upon President, we are tangible. These are the numbers. These are the issues we are relying on. If you say Prince Johnson, he went to Sackley, PA, or he went to Saniquile, he pulled crowd. Wait and see. When the country giant, the man who owns the country, when he decides to go there, the human magnet, you'll see the difference there. So there's no need to talk. The only thing we're cautioning our people in this coming election, be serious, go out and vote.
Thank you, Mr. Tom.
On number 18, and make sure that President Weah becomes victorious and the CDC emerges as a...
Let me come to one of Patrice Ajuro to make it so the chairman will be the last.
Thank you, Gerald. To summarize, you made mention of a few counties, and I want to take heed of Bassa. Bronski, as my brother Willie said in the studio, that Bronski is not contesting anymore. Yeah? You know that Georgia mom is a Bassa woman, right? Now, and Bronski, who plays from Bassa County and Grand Bassa County, is no more in the ballot. And
his daughter is a vice chair for one of the parties.
I do understand. Patricia is playing all over the county, and the Bassa people, they are quite angry. They believe in the old first and the young to follow, right? So George now is a follower to Madam Charlie Bronskin. So George stand a chance, and besides him standing a chance in Bassa, he did a work in Bassa. It's under his leadership the Bassa Community College have moved to their own building. The bridge linking the college was built under President Weah. And the fairground today is a rare playground where children goes and play. All pavements on the fairground. So the percentage on the just where these are numbers that you can catalog and say that President Weah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Go and vote on the 8th Street.
The realist movement have been here. Chairman, the real party comment.
Okay, let me say thank you so much for the invite, and it's good to be here. And let me say this: we're not going to worry about Nima County. Trust me, today the 16th of August. Trust me, and take it to the word of the bank. George Weah will win in Nima County and beat Broker Face down. After Nima County, I'm telling you, I'm talking there. The people of the county. That one or two people will not call and say, "Oh, Prince Johnson, I've arrived." No, and my brother said, when the Prince Johnson arrive in Nima County, you will see the difference. So we are urging all of our partisans, all of our followers, members of the World Movement, go to 18th Street, vote number 18 on the day of October 10th.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Liberians.
This is a bumper show, fellow Liberians.
With love, unity, and peace. Celebrate our bicentennial this year.
Those were the bicentennial songs. The United Liberians for all walks of life. 200 years of existence. I'm taking a water break. When I come back, I go to a monologue. Cataloging some of the developments of the president on the one-man show right here. Gerald, what you want to say? Let's see 1,000. Gerald, what you want to say? Go ahead. Let me see music. But man, you're gonna do the show here. How big?
Reaching the land of opportunity.
A guy did a song for the president called JC. I'm trying to find it on my WhatsApp. If I get it, I'm going to play that for a while. But there's one that's been training in our chat rooms, the GUA chat room. I want to find it too. Actually, if you have it, just send it to me. I want to play that. It's a very beautiful, groovy song. I cannot lay my hands on that song right now. I is my friend and brother Ata Gotolo. He wants to unseat Honorable Reverend Anders. Let's have a peaceful election. Let's not fight each other. Listen to my power voice. Jala Grapeview chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk, and never shall we fight. Fighting shall not be our portion. I'm getting from the camp of Honorable Johnny Quay. He launches his campaign this weekend in Bangabong County. He is a senatorial hopeful for the county. Edward Kafia is also contesting on the CDC ticket. That's a professor. Dr. Toba is also contesting. Mogina from Moamto is on the ticket. And several other Liberians who are in the county. Welcome to Liberia. If you're just coming in, if you live in Liberia, we say bon voyage. If you come in, we say bienvenue. I would say karibu sana, and that's how we say welcome in Kiswahili. And we say karibu zaidi zaidi. We say welcome, welcome, very, very welcome. You say akwaba. And you say thank you. Welcome, akwaba. Welcome to the shows on the ELBC radio. Oh, what a melodious voice, you know. Those were the voices on this radio during the time of the by-election, and then those songs were made popular here.
Usoyacha, Upuakare.
This is Wanima. This is Brother Gil King. Welcome to the Bumper Show. It's on ELBC Radio. And my name is Jala Emmanuel Greyfield III. I'm the nation's heavenly J. Remember, Jala Greyfield chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk, and never shall we fight. Fighting shall never be our portion. Let me say greetings and good afternoon to a distinguished Liberian personality, and that is Honorable Dr. Peter Coleman. I've not seen the Omen for a long time, but the other time, about 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, he provided some assistance for the wayward youth we call Zogo, who were raising funds for them to be presented to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. He provided some funding that day. And those of you who provided funding that day, we say thank you. When the parliament say Isha, it means thank you. And we'll have many of those things happening here, because the foundation of this country, I say it's built around the young people. The country constitutes 65% of the young people. If the young people are gravitating towards drugs, contributing to the 290 million people around the world who are not being affected by drugs, then it means that we need to fight drugs to the end. Thanks to the government and thanks to the proponent of the bill that made drugs now to be non-billable, it will help to decrease the number of drugs that come to the country. Because if you are grabbed with drugs and you are incarcerated in jail pending your trial, where no one will come and bail you out because he or she feels that he or she is part of that gangs, and they can go and bail you out, and the next day you are seen outside, I think you will be making a mistake. But let me come back to you and talk about the president, Honorable Dr. George Manenwia. I will open the line for you. I will open the line. I want to talk for long. I want to open the phone lines for you. Let's talk about the tangibles. What do you think about the upcoming election? The eyes of the international community are on these elections. That is why this morning, when I listened to the erudite Minister of Information, his Honorable Legendary Julius Simone Renning, he was clear that if anyone thinks he or she will sit home and does not do what is right by campaigning and sit supinely and feels that the government will cheat in the election, you are mistaken, because the eyes of the international community are on Liberia. The whole world sits and look at Liberia. It looked at Sierra Leone. It looked at other countries around the world. The whole world looks now to Liberia to see how democracy flourishes here. It's so pathetic that our countries, our neighboring countries, or countries in Africa have been engulfed with military takeover, which our government has condemned in the first place. Mr. President George Weah has said, I will not spend one day in office if I were dethroned at the ballot box. That may be a strong word, but if I'm defeated at the ballot box. That is why he has fought for constitutional democracy to be maintained in Africa. He condemned Guinea for takeover. He condemned Malians who took guns to topple their president. He condemned Burkina Faso for that. Now it's Niger. I was listening to the radio this morning, and a helicopter going to Niger this morning was brought down apparently by the forces there who are threatening constitutional democracy. Mr. President said no. To tell you that President Weah is serious about the rebuilding of this country, he was fighting in the referendum to ensure that the 6 years of leadership for a particular government comes to just 4 years. That was fought. It was fought to the letter. and after being fought, it was defeated. And then you know what happened here. So Mr. President is still committed. So we urge every side in this election, or these elections that are coming, to do all they can to ensure that everything is done for the good of our country. We don't want crisis here. You don't want to feel what happened in this country. If you are a child, you did not see the crisis in this country that started in 1989 when we were kids in this country, we grew up in it, and some of us were inscripted or conscripted into armed groups in this country. You don't want to pray for war. If you are around at the 1996, around the April 6, when Charles Taylor and the like of Roosevelt Johnson were fighting for supremacy, who owns Monrovia, that culminated into an entire breakdown of rule of order in this country, you will not pray for crisis in this country. You don't even move. You don't even pray for war. As my brother and friend, who is also breathing and beating this war drums called Yeke Kolba. He sings it every day, he beats it every day, and sometimes he does it, the guys are clapping for him. I was disappointed, so much disillusioned, so much disenchanted, if that's a good word I would say. But you know, sitting by my radio and listening to Yeke Kolba, he's saying that if you're talking about a radio election, one day after election, you're not saying we'll bring about war. You think that people in Nigeria right now are feeling happy that the president has been held hostage with his son and his wife in their own home, and they are threatening to kill him if ECOWAS intervenes? These are not good signs for our country. And I want to sit back today and talk about peace for a while. I want to listen to your story. I don't know what happened. I was here when you left this place and went to the rural part of Liberia around Sanoye area, beyond to the a village called Yanekole. There, my mother and father said to us at some point after, you know, we were there in 1990. My father had a very big orange orchard. And what happened is that in the morning, it was around 1990, October, and the orange were red by the time or so. I don't know when it gets red, but my mother used to go. She goes to the orange farm and picks the grapefruit and picks the oranges and bring it. Not the butter pear nut, yeah, but the other breadfruit, bread nut. She goes and pick it and boil it and put it in the wither and it's by the side. When the people are passing, my mother is giving them the oranges, the grapefruits, and giving their children the bread nuts. And that was ongoing for almost 2 months. We couldn't find food to eat. We have to go to the villages. There is a fruit in the bush. It's a yam. It has thorn on it. We can say tonton. It got thorn, long something on it. We'll go in the village with the bag in our hands, and I'm behind my uncle, very small young man. Then my uncle would take the digger. He would dig those yams. We'll put it in the bag. We'll carry it and boil it. We'll eat it, and we'll stay on it for the next day. Or they can say, I will kill pan cabbage. The palm is standing, they cut it down, or you climb on it with something and you behead the palm and take the inside part that looks like a sponge, you bring it outside and cook it with red oil, eat it and sleep. Many of you have not seen war, you have not experienced it before, you heard about it. That is why when I see the violent posture of our young people who were born after 1990, who did not see war, I'm like, what are they thinking of? But I still be corrected. Most of the violent things that happen in this country at this point, the violence or crimes we committed here, they are being perpetrated by the guys born after 1990 who did not see war. I was around Puebla this morning, and I've gone to fix my car tire. A young man drove, he walked, he had all kind of ring on his hand, a rasta hair on his head. He said, me, I'm waiting for Raleigh to fall. I said, what? Then a friend asked him, I said, ask him again. He said, I'm waiting for Raleigh to fall so that we can loot. That's what the guy said. I said, what? So people in this country are praying for bad things to happen here. You know, President, we are being a peaceful Liberian. We don't allow war to come to our country. Let's disabuse the minds of our children. Disabuse the minds of our sons and daughters who are being in armed conflict. That is why I praise the president for committing $526,000 out of $1 million plus the promise to have it done, giving the Youth and Sports Ministry to rehabilitate our Zogos and Zogis around here. They've committed 526,000. And Oro Zoga Wilson, who is a minister of our Youth and Sport, tells us that that is a significant portion of the money that can be used for the start up of this rehabilitation that will touch the lives of everybody from everywhere in every village where they are. But he tells us, yes, the international community said it will give 2 million. So if the government commits 1 million, 3 million, if every librarian goes to the bank and go to the bank account of the Youth and Sport Ministry and commit just $1 there, it can do significant things for our country. I don't know how many of us can do that. To go to the bank and say, I've come to just deposit $5 to the account of the Youth and Sports Ministry, which I will go to find it later. I'll read it for you. The minister sent it to me. I'll read it for you so you can know. Because these are the guys who are putting threat to our society right now. But again, when you go to sociology, I'm a student of sociology, it tells you that with all these people, society is not complete. You need them to have security around. If you didn't have the criminals, I really have those people around, their security will be relaxed. So you always have to have society complete, you must have them around. But you can't have them in the ways it is. Criminality is all around the world. The great America we all are craving to go to right now. Crimes are being committed in America on a hourly basis. If not hourly, maybe our mini basis. You see people go to the shopping mall and kill people indiscriminately. They leave to go to the school building and they kill people. I was on a plane going to Dubai, translating that airline to Dubai and on to Indonesia, going to Jakarta, Bali Island. Then I was watching, then CNN came. 11 children have been killed in the school in America. I just forgot the state. And I heard Joe Biden condemning that. And they're saying they have to put a moratorium on people buying guns because America is a free state. You buy a gun when you are above age, you buy it for your own protection. But if those guns are causing problem for them, they have to put an end to people buying guns. Then a serious policy should be put in place. There is a particular senator that evening while descending down to Dubai. He brought a strong lecture. He was he cried and he was like saying, we need to review this policy in America, the gun policy. And many other senators joined him in that fight. I don't know how far he had gone. We cannot have our young people in the street all these years. It started in 2015, yes, when the issue of Zogo came about. I was on the radio on OKFM because I did a morning show when we started that station. Me and Sumitobe having shows on it. While Melvin Reed was in the States, he is the CEO. But we started that morning. I'm on the radio, and somebody called and said the Zogos have attacked Accra's Great District, Raspin Valley. There are Zogos. I said, what is it called Zogo? Then the guy he stood to explain. And on the radio now, I said stood. He was like. He said, he called the show. He said, there are a group of people taking drugs here. And then there are about 40 of them. They say they are wayward children. That's the first time I heard about Zogo in this country. Because they were taking harmful substances. They did all they could. We did not take action to contain them by bringing them out of that situation and rehabilitate them by putting them somewhere. We allowed the group to grow as it is now. The other day, about 5, 6, 7 months ago, someone judge was interviewing one of the heads of the Zogos. The guy tells us that they have over 5,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 homes, ghettos in Monserrate alone. So the numbers are growing. How do we discourage these children from getting involved in conflict? Because if there's a conflict today, tomorrow, they're the same people they will use because their minds have been polluted. I saw a young man right around what the place is, around Jacobtown, Losa gas station 3 days ago. I was driving. He and I grew up in Pinzo. If you know the place called Wansu Klein, we were the one that Wansu Klein just around Gorbachev Field at the time. That whole place where you have the Gorbachev, those stores there. We used to call the place Wansu Klein, where you had young people going to the college ahead. We sit there and get involved in intellectual discussion, the like of Pee Wee, my man in the States, a former minister Pee Wee from the Ministry of Youth and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You know, we were there. The likes of one of our friends now is in a ghetto. His parents were very affluent people. We went to school with only $11 in our pocket, but he went to school with over $300 or $400 every day. But that guy left his parents. His parents live in Paisley. I don't want to call him to have that stigma on that family, because I see the mother and the two brothers. One of them has a master from India. The other one was in not Australia, but in South Korea. He just came out of the country. His father has a front view in that Gorbachev place on the 11th side when he comes from the red light area going towards Pakapin. You know, I'm saying this thing because we grew up in a highway in Painesville, and later we knew where we are right now. So I want to hear from you Liberians. How do we maintain this peace? The other day there were some political clashes around the United Party headquarters, which was not good for our democracy. And I think if we put our itinerary into place, this would not happen. And this is the replay of what happened in Sanokole before. There was a clash between the CDC and the United Party. And it was alleged, people who called us that morning, I was on the same OK Morning Rush with the late Zunu Miller. It was Dennis Samuka. He was my co-pilot on that show. And the guys were calling that there was a serious clash in that part of Liberia. The CDC was there campaigning, and United Party wanted to pass through where the CDC was campaigning. And the guys saw it as an affront to them. There was a serious clashes. I think I was a Musa Kone car or some other car got burned, something like that. And the police investigated on a crazy massacre at the time. We as journalists were waiting to see what they would bring us as who were the provocators of that particular event or that particular crisis. We waited in vain. Up to now, there was no report about those clashes in Yikepa. This one has happened. I saw a newspaper headline this afternoon just on my Facebook page. I think the police are saying they started investigating. But if the police investigate and come with a probable cause who were the instigators, they can also be arraigned before the court and be prosecuted. Similar violence took place at the city's headquarters in 2011. I was a manager, the general manager, the general of Love FM, Love TV, and the Liberia General newspaper, owned and operated by Honorable Benana Wefejure, the man who is my political mentor. As a matter of fact, I pay a lot of respect to Benana Yure because what I am today, politically, whatsoever, he made me. I'm the handmaid of the man called Benana Yure. I had that respect for him whatsoever. Even though I don't have, that's the man called Benana Yure. He made me. He made a lot of people here. So he was a supporter of the CDC. I was there when my nephew called John Ekpe, who is contesting to be senator of Bon County, was an assistant logistics manager of the Unity Party at the time. He worked there to procure some cars for Benana Yure. I think he took 20 cars for UCAR renters at the time when Otto Jate was there as a manager. Otto Jate now contesting in district number 3 for representative seat. And I saw what happened. I was on the air that day. I went to see what happened at the CC headquarters. When I saw the altercation and I saw the reveling of people, I ran away that day. There was no motorbike. I ran from that place up to Vama house. Then I got on a car and came to the office. Few hours later, I started hearing people saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have CC headquarters." People got killed. People got wounded. Fingers were pointed at the ruling government. That they put peacekeepers in uniform, and they were the one that did what they did. The Honorable President George was there at that time. I think the security had to take him away, or else he would have been assassinated. I'm bringing these things to you to reminiscence the past, that what happened here. We cannot afford to repeat this because the entire Africa is being engulfed by crisis. Military eviction SYZ. Which I know the chief of staff of our country, Honorable Prince C. Johnson III, has said repeatedly to us on the OK Money Rush Hour when I was there, that he even said to me on the bumper show here before. He said, what they're doing in Africa, especially in the West African basin, you cannot enter any of these countries to topple the government. No, because the chief of staffs of these governments, of these armies, they have a meeting on a weekly basis or a daily basis to know what is happening in our areas. He said there will be no invasion in any of these countries. In Guinea, there was a political wrangling amongst themselves to overthrow the government of Ivory Coast. Ouattara was trying to go to amend the constitution to go for third term, which is against the law. He was criticized and condemned by President George Weah. We know what happened in Ivory Coast, right? Sierra Leone this year, there was almost a meeting in Sierra Leone that the government Liberia has a call. Sierra Leone has a call on the Liberian government to extradite a former police chief who ran to Liberia. He was grabbed and sent back to his country to face a political prosecution because he was endangering the lives of Sierra Leone in there. I'm not serving as a guest speaker here, but I'm doing a monologue to bring to memory some of the things that happen in our country and those things happening around Africa that we as Liberians can guard ourselves against. If you just joined us, this is ELBC Radio. Maybe you don't know the frequency. It is 99.9 and other frequencies across Liberia. And I'm your host of the show. My name is Jala Imane Griffith III. I'm the nation's heavenly J. Better say they call me Kalifagala. Kalifagala means snake can laugh. You know, or you call me Nyalewan Tokau. Nyalewan Tokau is the palmacy on the head of the cat. Only the stupid rat that plays around it. Because you play around it, your remains to be seen maybe outside of the house with all your bones being chewed by the cat. This is ELBC Radio. So I'm saying this thing because at no time political violence has helped us. And we want to keep this civil. That everybody should be given the space to converge at any time, anywhere they want to. What happened at the United Party headquarters the other day was uncalled for. I listened to the spokesman of the CDC campaign, Mr. Kanuk Bahagbala, Councillor Kanuk Bahagbala. He outlined before then, they have come up with a litany of places they want to cover. But on that day, while going to campaign in District 10 and District 11, the guys in the party have converged at the party headquarters, which falls in their range of campaigning. When the guys went there was a clash between CDC and Unity Party people. But even if they were having a campaign that day, or want to name that campaign team, and you are passing out the sedition, you are not stools are not thrown at you. You just leave them. Let them have what they want to say until you are attacked, and the police will be around to keep the peace. That is what I've always said. If you think you can disgrace this country by getting involved in violence, you know, I said this before on the OK Morning Rush, and my brother and friend, big brother, Wisner, ran into the studio and said I was inciting people. It was a time of the We Are Come Down campaign. They've gone there. But you say you want to demonstrate, but in that demonstration, there will be people who come from areas who are not involved in that demonstration. They will come from West Point, they will come from Newtown, they will come from Pinsville, they will come from, how you call it, the Poyland Road there, they call it a poultry market, they will come, they are here. Their only intent is to cause problem. Because some people only survive in crisis. And they are right here. We shouldn't give them the right to come and destroy us, destroy our country, and destroy our peace. Yes, I saw that on the day of the CDC. I was watching that home. I was going, and the crowd was so heavy. I drove there, I couldn't pass, so I came back. I was around the office and then went home. But then I saw this guy after a day. I was watching the video. He said, "Oh, there seems to be a crisis right here." And then CDC is marching. Then I see the guys of Unity Party coming in. But I saw the guys pass by each other with no crisis. In fact, what I saw, the guys who came from the other side, who come from Unity Party, they were civil, and the guys from the CDC were civil. Even though the group from the CDC was very huge, they just swallowed them, but they passed with Hamokin programs, Hamokin, right? Without touching anybody, without bothering anybody. That is a peace we want to see. Political altercations are not good for our country. This mustn't happen on the watch of George Weah, a man who helped to disarm child soldiers here, a man who was UNICEF peace ambassador to this country, the man who served as peace ambassador for Liberia under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I don't think you want to countenance evil or perpetrate violence against anybody. That's why he said to his supporters at the Dominion Church that day. He came from America. He was there. He said to the people, "If you love me, and you love me as a president, follow what I do." That's the word from a peaceful president called George Weah. This is ELBC 99.9 and other frequencies across our country. I want to take a break, play your music, then I come back. The rest of the 10 minutes are dedicated to you. Let's have a conversation about peace in our country. There's nothing we can do here over peace. Our country has experienced a lot of things. I know what happened. You know, war is not good. That Jews do poor. War not good, Papa. That wanna make a poor man be a rich man. That wanna make a man and go to school. You know, I saw what happened. I saw my brothers and sisters. As a small boy, my mother would take me from the village in Yanakala and carry me to Konoye Clan beyond Konoye. The hill there is very dark in the morning. It's dark. Only DUC. And my mother would make a farm on that particular hill. It's about 2 hours. My mother would take me and carry me all the way on that place. By 6 o'clock in the morning, we're going, and I'm in front with a basket. I had a chicken basket on my back, you know, because I was people at the time. I'm very small though, but I knew what happened during the war. I saw what happened, and we'll go in the village, in the bush. We stay there up to 8 o'clock p.m. We were coming with the torch. My late brother, will go to the farm and cut the baboon. Then they peel it and take the one around the baboon. They tie it to each other. The dry one. It's a torch when I come in the night. It's a torch we are holding coming in the town. By the time we approach the town, we cut it off and carry it in the home, in the house. I was speeding in the morning. My mom take me again, carry me back, because my mom was avoiding me not to get involved in the crisis, because we were sitting in that town. We see young people walking. They have 100 person walking from across the Simple River. They have a Sunday. They're from Kelebe. They're from the other side. They're walking, going to Totota, and go to avail themselves to the rebels and say, I want to be enlisted. And they will take them and carry them to Banga. After 1 week, you see them come back with Sister Berita on them. It's a shotgun. I used to let that gun while growing up. I used to like it because, you know, shot. And I said, I want to be so man too. My man took me in the village, in the bush, and he never allowed me to see gun. And when they came back, they had guns on them. They shot Berita on them with pellet hole on the side. When you see it, you say, I found it, but it's dangerous. After some time, they're going to come and they say they killed them. Their parents are crying. I know who passed you. We don't want to see a repeat of what happened in this country. I want to take a break, as I said to you. Let me find a song. I'll play the song and we'll have the time to converse here. A conversation will come in. Let me take this one. Let me open this folder and see if I can play a song for one of these counties as a preparation. Each one will have a time, just a minute, to say what I want to say. But I thought I would take this time to disabuse the minds of those who think war could be the solution to our problems here. Coming on 080514096. 080514096. Or call me on 07705605660. 07766800373. Where is my friend and brother J Nima you fucking see? Where's Ambassador J fucking see? And Ambassador Moses Jalawala will clip it to a top here. Where are you guys right now? The Director of Education of the Salvation School System. And I guess you're driving from town now with your family. Mr. David Masakwe Senior, Safa Masakwe. Welcome to the show. Let me take this call right now. On this line, you have just 1 minute to make your case. Hello, welcome. I want to hear your peaceful advice to Liberians.
Good evening, Mr. Griffith.
Good afternoon, sir. Good evening.
This is Spencer G. I'm calling from my GSO resident.
Okay, let me hear you, sir.
Yeah, I want to say kudos to you for safeguarding we Liberians as they relate to violence, because it is not comfort, maybe for our democracy. So I appreciate you for that. Thank you for the work done.
Okay, thanks so very kindly, brother. I appreciate that. Let me go to the line again. 080514096. 076 Good afternoon. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome. Where's where you are? Let me hear you.
Yeah. Yes. So yes, my name is Musu Kwali.
Musu calling for Banga, right?
Yeah.
Good morning, na.
What are you?
Apa nang where you are many?
Okay.
Apa quality?
Oh yeah, I just want to thank you for the show you set up. You know, we don't want confusion in this country because everybody tired of war. Every day children are coming up. They're not even prepared for it because everybody they get no time to get their own property. Because every time they will hear people from the other side, oh they want will share blood will do it like this.
Oh yes.
And they want doing those things to just be accept to see fun. But this election, by the grace of God, this election will be peaceful. And the person is angry for Bangata, say, even Bongate. You will see how the place will be looking. Yeah. So we get anything ready to worry on.
Okay.
So
thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you, yeah. Thank you. Let me take the next caller. Hello, welcome you on the bumper. So let me hear you.
Yeah, this is Abu Sherry calling from Calibia, Diga Money Zone.
Can where?
Calibia, Diga Money Zone.
Oh, which country is it?
One country.
Okay. Okay. Let me hear you, my brother. Thanks for joining us. Let me hear you.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, let me hear you.
First of all, let me tell people, all should be peaceful. This is election. This is democracy. Whosoever win, we will support you and you'll be our leader. War is not good. Those who just born, they just feel that war is something that, people can be proud of. It's not something that we're supposed to be proud of. So we should continue to be peaceful and continue to be one people. So thank you very much.
Thank you so very kindly, my brother. Let me go to the next line. Let's talk peace. How are you this afternoon? Welcome you on the Bumper Show.
Good evening, Mr. Jara.
Good evening, sir. What is your name? Where do you call from? Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is McCarthy, because there is crying pastor. I'm calling from that pastor to be personally. District for New York.
Let's say, my brother.
My brother, nothing always you get called by his dream. You bring war. You get called by there. They don't have law for this country. You get called by there. They start down here. They wait a lot of blood in this country. So it just do like pleasure to them. You get called. I can tell you now. You get for family is not even in Liberia.
Yes, I'm told his family is in Ghana.
Family is not in Liberia. So you want to use another people on the children to spoil this country. So my brother, and God will move up there. Get called by not greater than God. Why would they say you get called by? And we move up.
All right, let's just pray for peace. Let's leave the personality of it. There. Thank you so very kindly. Let me go to this next caller. There's a caller on this line. Hello, you want to participate? What is your name, sir? Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You are on the Bumper Show.
Well, thank you very much. I was a little bit enthusiastic when I heard you speaking of Panicula. However, my name is Darlington Gumbo. I'm
Okay.
on top on speaker.
All right, my brother Gumbo. Let's hear you.
Well, thank you for the platform and for me. I think it's important that we all contribute as nationalists in this country with respect to different issues. How can we avoid political violence to create peace in this upcoming presidential and legislative election? One, I would say to our listeners that indeed it is necessary for us to be tolerant. Let's avoid statements that will create confusions among ourselves. Let's avoid lying on one another. Let's avoid tribal discrimination. Let's avoid insulting, harsh discussion. Maybe probably with discussing at a tire center or somewhere, and I get so aggressive and yelling and don't even want to use a good manner, creating that fighting the other man. The other man will get provoked, and if he's provocation is an offense, he will get to win. And at the end of the day, we'll start moving forward, and it won't be over well for us.
Thank you so very kindly, brother. Thanks a million. Thanks a million for that. Thanks a million. I appreciate you. And let me welcome and appreciate Mr. Please, we cut your phone off now. Cut your phone off. Let me welcome Mr. Andrew Taylor. He's watching me from the USA. Prince Criblin. He's our correspondent in the Southeast. Cyrus Zio has joined us. J. Roberta Favor Davis is joining me from Buchanan. Andrew Taylor is joining me, I said, and Etel Andrews is still watching me. I cannot take any more call again. I have to call it a quit now as I prepare for the news. Let me go for this one here. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. That's how I go and do this one. I'm not taking any more calls. Please don't call again. I'm not taking your calls. Oh, what's going on? It seems my get from my theme song so I can quit. Mr. Pretty please find my song so I can quit. I can't find my theme song. But again, that's how going this evening on the bumper show. Join us red tomorrow if all goes well. If the President, His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. George Opomane we are is not having any engagement tomorrow, then he will be here with the bumper show just for 1 hour. And if he ends sooner, if he goes to end sooner, the bumper show is abbreviated tomorrow just for 1 hour. As the guys will be the guest. That's how we go on with this my theme song now. Oh, okay.